Alright guys, what's going on? It's been a while, but I am back because season 22 is about to start, and I've got a quick tip for you guys for Alliance War Season Masteries. I actually recorded this at the beginning of last season. As you'll see, it says season 21, so this is the very first war of last season, but I wanted to post it with more context, like prior to a season beginning, because I want to show you guys how to get your mastery set up going from off-season to season wars if you're in an alliance that has to place without suicides and you prefer to run suicides like on a day-to-day basis. So these are my off-season masteries. I'm just going to recover my offensive tree here and my defensive tree. And I don't think that I recovered my proficiencies because I'm just going to be adding points to that. So basically this is just going to be like a standard mastery setup. I'm going to have, I need to run 3 points in Mystic Dispersion, so that's something that takes up a couple mastery points. I only have 3 unlocked after the refund from a while back. But I'm going to go ahead and put those 3 points in because I do place Mystic Defenders. And then I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to max out Recovery. I'm going to max out Willpower. And basically what I hear from a lot of people who want to like push Alliance War seasons but they don't want to deal with the mastery changes if they run suicides, that's understandable. If you completely redo your masteries before every war, like 2 or 3 trees of it, it's over 100 units per war, well over 100. It could be as much as like 150 to reset your tree completely. But I only reset one of my trees before every war, so what I do is I get my defensive tree and my proficiency tree set up for defense. And basically what that consists of is just making sure that you have all of the points in Mystic Dispersion that you can afford. I only have 3 unlocked again, so that's all I put in. And max Limber. You always want to run 5 out of 5 in Limber if you're being competitive in Alliance War. And you always want to be running at least 3 points in Mystic Dispersion if you're placing Mystic Defenders. And then as far as the defensive tree, I always put 4 out of 4 in Perfect Block. Block Proficiency. I do run 3 out of 3 in Willpower. And then I also max out Physical Resistance. I know, at least I think that's what I'm doing here. You can tell I'm kind of like thinking through this as I'm doing it because this is going to be permanent. This is going to be for the next 4 weeks. I do have Stand Your Ground unlocked as well, but you need to have a certain number of points in your defense tree before you can unlock Willpower, and Willpower is important to run. So this is what my defense tree is going to look like for the rest of the season at this point. And I'll show it again at the very end. So 3 out of 3 in Willpower. And then what I'm going to do is go into my offensive tree now. So this is the one that I'm going to be resetting for every war. It's about 60, it's around 65 units per reset. So 65 units per war. That's like almost 200 units a week. But I get the $5 unit pack every month, so it's like 750 units for $5, and that basically covers the costs of my mastery changes for an entire war season. Actually more than that because of the 2-week off season. So I always put 4 points in Precision. I put 1 point in Courage. If there's a really tough war that we're trying to win, like when we finish in the top 3, I did redo my entire mastery setup for that and put like more points in Courage. But just for day-to-day war, what I'll do is I'll do 1 point in Courage, just so that as your defender gets down below 50%, they'll hit harder. And I always run 1 point in Assassin because Assassin is a mastery, unlike a lot of other masteries, that can actually pick up a kill for you. If somebody's using Quake against one of your defenders and they make a mistake and they get down below 18% health, Assassin will probably cause one of Quake's evades to fail. So it's kind of like picking up a kill if the person gets down kind of low. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and place our defenders. I'm going based off of memory. And this does change war to war. It's not like I'm blowing up our defense or anything here. This was just our first war of the season. But we do place different defenders each war. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm my choice here. Sorry, this is taking a little bit of time. And you can see that I have 8 points left over that I didn't use in my mastery tree if you look at the number 8 up by my name. And those are the points that it's going to take for me to turn Suicides back on. So here I'm just making sure that I got it right. I don't want to mess anything up. And I will go ahead and just set my defenders down pretty much anywhere. Again, the defense does change war to war, so we don't have like assigned nodes that we place defenders on or anything like that. So I'm just going to throw them down. And you can see here I'm actually the first person to place, which is always fun. And then the first thing I'll do, as soon as your defenders are placed on the map, your masteries are locked in. They're placed with whatever they're placed on the map with is the masteries that they have. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my Suicides back on. That's 8 points. So again, this is going to be my mastery setup for the season. I will reset my offensive tree 3 days a week to place defenders, and then I immediately go back in and turn my Suicides back on. So mastery changes are very long and expensive. This is just the way to make it a little bit cheaper. So you can see we've got Max Limber, Max Stupefy, and 3 out of 3 in Mystic Dispersion. It will remain that way for the entire season. In defense, it's pretty standard. We just have willpower and physical resistance. And then this is going to be the offensive tree that I will be placing my defenders with, minus the Suicide Masteries, which will be taken off prior to placing defense every day. So I hope that kind of helps. A lot of people are like, oh, if you place with Max Limber or if you place with Mystic Dispersion, you have to redo more trees of your mastery setup, and that's just not true. This is the best way that I've found to run a good defensive mastery setup, along with making sure that I can switch easily back and forth from the masteries that I prefer and that most of my champions are compatible with. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Season 22 starts in a couple days here, so good luck to everybody who's going to be competing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple days.